Hey guys, in this video I'm going to talk to you about the dreaded con crunch. So really, we've all been there, and if you haven't, there's a high possibility that you will experience it in one way or another. The thing about con crunch is, to put it simply, it's not really healthy for you. To sit there a week or 2 weeks before the convention stressing out, trying to work as fast as you can to get this project done, missing out on sleeping properly, missing out on eating properly, it just adds up and it ends up taking a toll on your body or on your mental well-being. There are a lot of different reasons that people can end up in a con crunch mode, but I've noticed that the biggest one seems to be that people are not properly planning out their project and the time frame that they need for it. For example, starting that full suit of armor a week before the convention, probably not the best idea. But if you just need to sew an apron a week before the convention, well, I mean, that's a little bit more doable. So to help you guys avoid con crunch and the inevitable meltdown that comes along with it, here are a few tips that I have found work pretty well for me. The first thing you want to do, obviously, is plan out what conventions you plan to go to that year. You don't have to plan out every convention you plan to go to, but it is a good idea to write down the ones that you know for sure that you're wanting to attend and have brand new cosplays for. Once you've planned out your conventions, you can plan out your cosplays. I usually just make a list of everything I would like to do within the year. I don't always set it up, this costume for this convention. I tend to determine what goes where by how much time I have to get it done. So for example, the first convention I usually go to is in early June, which means that as of right now, I have a little bit less than 6 months to start and finish whatever project I want to do. Moving on with that information, do a cosplay breakdown. Now, I did a video in the past of how I used to do my cosplay breakdowns. I still kind of do them like that, but recently I've just been writing everything down in a spiral notebook. I find it's easier to keep it with me and just keep track of every little scribble, design drawing, whatever I need. But you can do it whatever way works best for you, whether a spiral, whether your cost planner app, whether more in depth, less in depth. Whatever works, you need to plan out your project. From start to finish, it's always good to plan out every little piece of the costume. And maybe I'm just being a little too serious with it, but knowing exactly how many different pieces I need to make, how many different types of fabric I need to hunt for and find, it really helps you figure out how long it's gonna take you to put this bad boy together. In the end, it's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. An extra step after doing your breakdown is to determine your timeline. This isn't necessary if you like to just pick pieces and work on them sporadically, but if you like to plan everything down to the T, you can decide what you're going to start with, by what time you want to have it done, then you're going to start on the next piece, by what time you plan to have it done. If you do plan to break it down like that, just keep in mind that you will need a little wiggle room for error. Not everybody is perfect. You can't just sew a garment and it comes out perfectly. You can't just make armor and it's going to come out perfectly on the first try. Just leave a little bit of room to redo or just spend a little bit extra time on that piece, because if you don't and you wait till the last minute and you crush everything together, that's when your con crunch starts. So really, that's all there is to it to avoiding con crunch. Plan ahead and plan appropriately. Don't spring up ideas for costumes a week or 2 weeks before the convention, and don't leave things for the last minute. The fact is, when you are in con crunch, you're not giving the costume your undivided attention. You start to get stressed out, you start to make a lot more mistakes than you would, and you end up wearing a costume to this convention that really isn't your best work, all for the sake of having it done on time. Personally, I'd rather take that extra time, get it done up to my standards, and then maybe just wear it at a different event versus rushing it, wasting my time, wasting my materials, and going to a convention not at my best. You're going to be tired from all those missed hours and nights of sleep. You're going to not be feeling well from all those skipped meals or the lack of proper eating. It's just going to come back to bite you in the end. So yeah, your cosplay may be done, but is it up to your standards? Does it look as good as it could have looked? Are you feeling great? Are you having as much fun as you could have had if you just stepped back and planned a little bit better or stressed a little bit less? If you have some more tips and advice for people on how to avoid con crunch and how to maybe handle it, feel free to leave that down in the comments, because I'd love to see what you guys have come up with. Like I said, we've all been there. If you haven't been there, you may end up going there at some point in all the time that you're cosplaying. And we all learn different things from our experiences. So again, share it down in the comments because I want to see it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one.